Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete, and guess what? I have a special, iconic car that's gonna be disappearing from the Audi lineup. It's this vehicle right here. This is an Audi TT RS. But before we get into this pumped up performance turbocharged vehicle, let's talk about what's going on here. The Audi TT. Audi brought it into fruition in 1998. And the reason why they called it the TT, it stands for Tourist Trophy. That was a race that Audi and Auto Union, back through the decades, did a lot of great competing and winning of that road rally race. Now, what's fascinating is the Audi TT had such a unique look to it, really made it stand out from the rest of what was being produced in the late 1990s. And me personally, the TT has always had a sweet spot in my heart. Now, over the years, they've kind of tweaked the exterior. They definitely tweaked the performance. And in 2009 is when they created the RS version. Now, when you see RS attached to an Audi vehicle, that is the top performance level. RS standing for Rennsport, or what we like to say here in the United States, racing sport, brings a lot of that technology, a lot of that engineering that they've learned on the racetrack to their production vehicles. And what's sad is that 2023 is the final year of the Audi TT as we know it. But what I want to do is I want to find out, is this a performance car that you should be buying, or you're going to regret it if you pass on it? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this Nardo Gray, that iconic car, iconic color. Audi brought Nardo Gray, and it really, I feel like every brand has some type of gray that looks like this now. So let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out, is this the best one you should be buying? Let's check it out. Right off the bat, the last generation, the final iteration of the TTRS has never looked better. At the front of the business, you're gonna get that iconic Audi style. I love the way that they do their LED headlights, daytime running lamps, and turn signals. Very angular, very sleek, very sporty. You'll notice a little bit of fender flare. And that fender flare is not stuck on, it's part of the front fascia and the actual metal fender. Now, on the lower corners, you'll notice these ginormous cantaloupe size air intakes, fully functional, gloss black, and you can see the heat exchangers lurking behind there. On the TT RS, you're gonna notice some nice satin silver appointments. On the lower portion here, a little bit of satin silver with the Nardo Gray. And then as we come across that low slung nose, this is that open grille design that Audi actually was the first to create. A lot of other brands now have that open grille look, but you'll notice the gloss black, just like we have in the corner vents. Same design. You got the Quattro name. Even though it's an Italian word, it means four. And why does it say four? It's all about all-wheel drive, something that Audi was the first to bring to the World Rally Championship in the Group B rally car days. Love the way you got the gloss black splitter, everything fully functional. And then this particular one has the blackout package. So you're gonna have the Auto Union badge, the 4 different German brands that form together to form Audi right on that hood. And then lurking behind it and underneath the hood is that special piece of the puzzle. That's that 5-cylinder turbocharged engine. Now, as we rise up, what do you got here? Like I said, low slung hood, clean German style. And then as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. First of all, there's that fender flare. One of the things I am gonna zonk is I'm not a big fan on how they fit the hood with the fender. It gives it an awkward kind of gap. Like it looks like it's not supposed to be like that, even though this is supposed to be the style. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. One thing though that I have really good feelings about is this wheel and tire setup. I love the way they did almost like this rotating star, machined aluminum, the Auto Union badge, and then check out the massive calipers on those rotors, fully cross-drilled, 2-piece rotors. Of course, they're ventilated, and then you're gonna have that Quattro all-wheel drive, getting the power to the ground. And you'll notice that we have a rubber band. This tire looks like a freaking rubber band wrapped around these wheels to give it such a low profile to it. It really looks very sporty for sure. And if you ever wonder why do they do that, sometimes what they engineer into the car is less sidewall is gonna give you less flex. So wait until we go on the twisty bits with this car, because not only does it have some straight line performance, you're gonna see how it handles. But I love the nice bright silver calipers. As we work our way down, just like up front, we have the aluminum on the mirror cap with your LED lighting. No sunroof, and I'm okay with that. That Nardo gray slides back into the rear glass. Love the way they do a rear quarter window. And then you have that side sill, that side skirt that drops down gloss black, just like up front. Coming towards the rears, you're gonna notice, like we have 20-inch wheels, all four corners. So there's a 20-inch wheel. Out back, we have 255 on the width and that 30 series sidewall, like a rubber band. My other zonk is gonna be, I wish that we had some solid Brembo calipers, all four corners, not just up front. So it's kind of crazy that we have this German performance car with the RS name, Rennsport, but yet we have stock floating calipers. That to me seems a little odd, but then when we swing it around the back, this doesn't seem odd at all. I love the way they have this pedestal, rear wing, fully functional. Even the way that they did the pedestal part, they hollowed out the center there. For the airflow, you're gonna have your blacked out audio union badge. And just like up front, look at the lighting, LED lighting that's just exquisite. This is stuff that Audi developed at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. If you look the early 2000s, they were dominant, win after win after win. You do have a fake vent on this flared bumper area, which I am gonna zonk that. That needs to be functional. But what is functional is the dual exhaust. So you got that open oval with a little bit of a slash cut, gloss black on the tips. You have this massive rear diffuser, and wait until you hear this engine, because guess what we have? Not a 6-cylinder, not a 4-cylinder, not an 8-cylinder, not even a 10-cylinder. We have a unique 5-cylinder turbocharged engine. But why don't we go ahead, we looked at the back, let's pop the hood and take a look at the heart of this TT RS. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. Underneath the hood is the unique character of this vehicle. That is an inline 5-cylinder turbocharged engine. Right off the bat, I love the cam cover with the auto union badge, and they did a nice job on the engine cover. Now, before I go any further, one thing I want to point out is this has an optional APR tune kit on it. So basically what that's going to involve is your carbon fiber air intake, and then we have that performance cone air filter. They also do a tune and some adjustments to the exhaust to get even more power. And APR is known in the industry, especially with German vehicles, Volkswagen, Audi, so on and so forth, bringing extra performance. And I think we could all agree it looks extra good underneath the hood. But what are we talking about stock? Stock, this car has a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 5. 400 horsepower, 354 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to one transmission and one transmission only. That's a 7-speed DCT. 0 to 60 in about 3.3 seconds, quarter mile in 11.9. Top speed is governed to 174 miles per hour. The vehicle weighs 3,270 pounds. MPGs 19 in the city, 29 on the highway. And when it comes to RSs, if you got the first generation or even the second generation, you could get a manual transmission. So that is the bummer for me with this vehicle. No manual transmission option. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this inline 5 and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, before I let you in, I want Steven to show off that really cool TT fuel filler door. It's been like that since '98, and it still looks good on this TT RS. And it's been a while since we have featured one of these vehicles on Rady's Rides, and I absolutely love these cars, especially the interior. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, how much is this Audi TT RS? MSRP starts at $65,000. Most of them, with some options, can be maxed up to around $80,000. Let's see what you get for the money in this particular one. to the door panels. I like the clean style, soft touch material, and then you get the Alcantara dark gray on the midsection, some carbon fiber on the door handle, and then you'll notice this one has this blue stitching throughout, which really gives it a nice pop of color. The door pocket is a great size. You could easily get that cold cut combo, hell, scratch that, cold cut trio, foot long subway sub in there, and we got the Bang & Olufsen sound system, but I'm never gonna listen to the radio in this car. Now going from the door panel to the dash, you'll notice the nice round shape to the AC vents. They're very smart with packaging. You actually have your seat heaters built into the knob here on the AC vent. Very nice touch with the blue. I am gonna zonk that though, because this should have ventilated seats as well. Soft touch material, you got the Quattro name, and this is my favorite part. I know you're saying, well, Joe, where's the infotainment system? Guess what? This vehicle doesn't technically have an infotainment system. You have the simplicity of these 3 beautiful AC vents. All of your controls, look at this, the temperature is all built in to the knobs. Very, very nice touch. You got your blower fan, you got a little bit of blue, some toggle switches. Somebody spilled a bucket of carbon fiber in here. Real deal, open it up, you got in there a USB-A, wireless charging, and an aux jack. If you're not charging your phone, you could fill this up with atomic fireballs, because wait until we go on throttle, it's atomic fireball hot. This is gonna control your 7-speed DCT. I love the way it's got the RS logo there with the red trim, some Alcantara. You got your real volume knob to control your tunes if you're gonna go down that road. Me personally, I'm not doing that. And then of course you have a direct drive control knob. I'll show you what that's for when you come to the business end. The stitching, the leather, even the way they did this anodized blue feel in here really gives it, like I said, a nice bit of class. One cup holder, but you know what? You're not drinking in my TT RS. Drink, hydrate before you come for an on-throttle ride. There's our RS branded key fob, simplicity on the buttons, and the Auto Union badge. Small little tiny armrest with some stitching. Open it up, you do technically have another cup holder in here, but I would flip that out of the way because this is where I'm gonna be able to fit, I would say it's gonna be tight, 4 Twinkies. Do not go for 5 because you're gonna bust cream, if you haven't already, all over this beautiful interior. So something to think about. You do have a 12 volt, and to me, that's a problem having it here because you're gonna need to run a radar detector, which means you're gonna have to run that cord a mile long. Now the seats, absolutely phenomenal. The blue stitching, the RS logo there. Look at the way they did the stitch pattern. Wonderful bolstering, full electric assist for the passenger and for the driver. Look at the seat belts. It even has blue trim on it. That's worth an additional 5 horsepower in my book. Now this does have rear seats. No. I am not getting back there, but I will show them to you. So manual pull, you pull to the forward, there's your rear seats. I guess you could put a stuffed animal back there, maybe a paper mache doll of yourself, or I don't know, that's about it. Not much, but it's all about what's here in the center area. Why don't you come over to the business end? I got a flat bottom steering wheel, not with your name on it, not even with my name on it, with the RS name coming over. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. You are gonna be greeted by a nice tasteful aluminum sill plate with the RS badge. Look at that pedal box, right out of a Le Mans racer. Aluminum brake pedal, throttle, and the dead pedal. I just wish this one had a clutch. I need a manual transmission in this thing. Seat controls, very easy to get to, and you could actually adjust the different bolstering to squeeze or loosen you. I'm 6 feet tall. I need to get this towel out of the way. I've been sweating like crazy. I'm 6 feet tall, and the way that they designed this, it actually gives you a ton of room, a ton of room. Put the helmet on, and then of course the steering wheel. Flat bottom, the Alcantara, the red stripe, top dead center, all leather with the Alcantara, the RS logo. There's your bright red start stop button, just like a race car. Your driver select mode button. Paddles on the back of the wheel to go through the 7-speed DCT. The zonk is that they are plastic, not metal. But that virtual cockpit is a thing of beauty. You got the tack right there in the center. You can pull up your maps. I could change the views very easily. So this is, instead of having the infotainment system, this is where you got everything else. I mean, look at this. You could scroll through all that different information very, very easily. Let me pull up the navigation back up. 1, 2, 3, you could go to your location. I got my drive select modes. We're gonna go, of course, dynamic. And then you could easily just go back and have it your way, just like Burger King. I'll pull the map back up. Very clear graphics, the leather, no head-up display. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but let's get into the cargo area because if you're ready, I'm definitely ready to go on throttle in this TT RS. All right, guys, one of the things that's very interesting about the TT by itself, let alone the TT RS, is that guess what? You have some usability. Even though those rear seats, I wouldn't even put my worst enemy back there. When it comes to cargo space, it's actually quite generous. You have that nice, almost hatchback style where it opens up and it gives you plenty of room. You're looking at 13 cubic feet of space. Those little tiny itsy bitsy seats fold down to give you just a little bit more room, but you do have a 12 volt, which is nice on the driver's side. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, is there a spare under here? No. We lift this up, you'll notice that this is where they mount the battery in the rear for that weight distribution, also packaging, but there's no actual spare. You get a can of flat fix and that electric air compressor, and that's it. That seems to be the name of the game when it comes to new performance cars today. Even some just regular cars are getting rid of their spares, but I could care less about cargo space. What I care about is going on throttle. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get to it in this TT RS. All right, guys, we're inside this Audi TT RS. I have it in manual shift mode. And if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Yeah. Inline 5. Sounds like a freaking swarm of killer bees. Love the all-wheel drive grip, of course, and having that great just driving position. The way that they've set up the seats in here gives you great visibility out the front, awesome visibility out the back, and the DCT shifts very, very quickly. I'm in second gear, in the turn, on throttle. The grip from that Quattro on the brakes just sounds so good, and that's what I love about this car is the unique driving experience. I'm going around the dirt. That's why I'm going in the oncoming traffic lane. Got to go around the dirt. Don't want to get this beautiful Nardo gray paint job all dusty and dirty. But what's amazing is this car is the complete package. You got the brakes, you got the all-wheel drive, you definitely got a unique sound, and these seats are superb. Audi has always done fantastic seats because they're comfy without being too tight, and the quality of materials is really outstanding. Having everything placed in a minimalistic way gives you a special experience. And even though I don't have a manual transmission, which I really, really want right about now, I'm still having a very special, as you can see in Florida, we have all sorts of interesting drivers, but we keep on filming. It's just another day here on Rady's Rides. What I like about it is, even though I don't have a manual to feel unique and engaged, I feel engaged in other ways. And I love the interior having that minimalistic setup. But we got to see how she handles in the twisty bits, right? Second gear. Let me drop down to first gear. Slow down a little bit here. Nobody's behind us, so that's good news. On throttle, here we go. Nice. On the brakes. Look at this. Look at this. Woohoo! Oh, the sound of that inline 5. On the brakes. Look at the balance. Look at how it grips. It's freaking ridiculous. I love this car. I think a lot of it has to do with the wheelbase. It's got a shorter wheelbase, so it really quickens up the steering. Audi does a great job with communication. So the communication coming through the steering wheel allows me to know just how much grip I have. And that's important because of this all-wheel drive system. On throttle, here we go. Look at this. Just holds a line, so balanced, so composed. Downshifts are smooth. I love the way that the tachometer changes colors. It gets yellow, it goes red as you get close to that red line. Then of course the brakes. I mean, they are ginormous for any car, especially one that weighs around 3,200 pounds. I don't know if you've been looking at Car and Driver and Road and Track lately, but cars have gotten heavier and heavier and heavier. And for a car to have all-wheel drive and be 3,200 pounds in today's day and age, that's a lightweight, believe it or not. And you could feel it. You could feel just how playful this vehicle is. I mean, it's that good. You ready? I'm gonna drop it in a first again. Here we go. On throttle, yeah! On the brakes. You can hear all the sounds. It's like taking candy from a baby. And that's the thing with this car, it's been referred to many a time as the baby R8. It really is. It's like they took the 10-cylinder, cut it in half, shoehorned it somehow underneath the hood in this vehicle, and now you have a vehicle that is just so fun to drive, so playful, and you're really gonna show up a lot of other performance vehicles. Everything from Porsche Cayman GT4s to even the Shelby GT350. With the way that this car is with the 7-speed, you put it in the right hands, you're gonna make some people cry, some drivers cry with their more powerful vehicles. And it's crazy to think that they're killing it off all because of electric vehicles. If they make an Audi TT RS EV, count me out. But if you have one of these, count me in twice. But like I said, just the steering wheel looks like it's plucked right out of a freaking race car. The balance, it just feels so freaking good. And Audi knows all-wheel drive. I know we like to talk a lot about Subaru knowing all-wheel drive. Trust me, Audi knows performance all-wheel drive, I promise you that. On throttle, here we go. All the way to red line. On the brakes. Nice balance in the corner, look at this. Pulls and pulls and pulls. Woo-hoo! Yeah, get it. God dang it. This car is so much fun. But just like every other freaking performance car review that I just want to rub my arms around and just hold on to forever, I can't. I think there's some people out there that if I keep bringing every car home that I drive would probably think I'm a little crazy, even though I am. But I'm hoping that you enjoyed this on-throttle experience. It was great to have you in this car with me, going on throttle, but we got to get back to Jaguar Land Rover St. Petersburg and wrap this one up. I'll see you in a nanosecond. God. All right, guys, it's been one heck of a day here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. Definitely got to thank Miro and the rest of the crew getting us this Audi TT RS. Let me know what you think. Should you, would you, could have gotten one of these, or are you going to take your money somewhere else? And how do you feel about the price and what you're getting performance-wise? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up. Stephen Flood Photography. This was his first time in the presence and inside the vehicle being driven on throttle in a TTRS. So show him some love in the comment section. Check out his Instagram, sfloodphoto. That's his handle, that's his name, and he's also got it tattooed on the back of his neck. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.